We are live. We can't see anything, but we're live. Hi to whoever is here. We are just getting set up. We've got some technical difficulties happening. So we are trying to get on live. Let's see. Ha! We have Colleen watching.
Hello, Colleen.
Hello, Colleen. Okay, I have to do some adjusting here to get Connie in. Okay, you got to move in closer. And Tracy Leggett, Sabrina, hi, Allison. How do I get Connie in here more? There we go. We got Connie in here, and Casey and Wendy, hi. Oh, Suri is talking to me. Okay, we're just letting people join in. Miss Colleen, we were wondering where you were all weekend. We hadn't heard from you all weekend. So I thought this was the weekend you're moving. I don't know why. I was determined this was the end of September. And this is not nowhere near the end of September. That's how far ahead I was. So, hi, Alicia and my dear friend Carrie and Allie. Hi. Okay. So, we don't really know if we'll be in a whole hour tonight. We might only be in a half hour, 45 minutes. I've got some technical stuff happening here. And Connie and I are going to have a fire in a little while. It's going to be fire burning night.
Burning intentions.
We are burning our intentions. So for anyone wondering who this cute little blonde is that's sitting next to me, anyone who hasn't met Connie yet, hi, Heather. So fixing my necklaces that are all tangled up. I couldn't see the before we come online. We had no preview screen. So this is Connie Clark. I've been calling her Connie Strickland, which was her maiden name. I've been calling her that all day. So Connie is my best friend, and she is my sidekick, and she is been by my side. She's my mini-me is what we call her at work. I started with Connie years ago. And so I'm kind of been pushing her into the limelight a little bit, pushing her in out to her own moment. We have a house full of dogs. We have, how many dogs we got?
9.
We have 9 dogs here right now. So live is going to be a little bit crazy tonight, but I didn't want to miss it. I didn't want to leave you guys with no live tonight because we missed last week. Oh, Edie says hi to you.
Hi, Edie.
And there's our other little side. There's our other sidekick, Tracy, who's watching. So my other dear friend, Tracy, who watches from the other side, is also on the other end in Slave Lake. We are in Leduc. But Connie just recently made a big leap of faith. And the reason why I have Connie here tonight is because we have had some big, deep discussions and some big, deep conversations happening. And she has been going through a lot of her own changes within her own life. And I wanted Connie to be here tonight because Connie has been finding her own way. I say we're being kind of separated a little bit as I'm retiring from hairdressing. Connie has taken a big leap and leaving Slave Lake. And she's been with me since she started hairdressing. I trained her. She's worked by my side. And Connie is also a Reiki master. And she's very spiritual. And she's been finding her own way back into her true self from her shadow self. You know, all this work and stuff we've been doing. And she's been having her own awakening moments as we have been going through this big leap of faith that she has been taking. So I wanted to bring Connie in because I'm going to actually let Connie talk a little bit. I know, I love how I throw people into this. Today we went to the roller, the Holy Roller in Old Strathcona area of Edmonton. If you have not been there, oh my God. It is the coolest cafe bar ever. It's the coolest place ever. I love it. And a dear friend of mine who is an amazing shaman, her name is Tiffany Jackson. She is the owner of 17 Degrees. And she did her first live performance of singing, stepping out of her shadow and into her true self. And she did a gospel. I said gospel, not gospel. We went to church today is what we call it. She performed this morning at the Holy Roller and it was incredible, and it was just the energy and her shaman work and just everything that was coming to life, and the songs that she took from rock and turned them into gospel was just like out of this world. And I did post on my Instagram one video, and she did like Hallelujah, and she did Leonard Cohen, and she did Gord Downey, and she ended with mine and Connie's theme. Well, she kind of ended, and then she did her encore. But she ended with mine and Connie's theme song, which is
What's going on?
Four non-blondes. What's going on? Our theme song that we always sing to when we drink wine. And so she ended with that, and we're like just having these moments. But I'm like, I really knew Connie had something in her that really needed to come out today, that she really needed to speak a truth. And I said to her after we got back and we were having our wine and chips, which is another story. But I said to her, I wanted to take her plate of food away from her. I want to take her plate of food away from her and force her to kind of like, I just wanted to bang on the table, Connie, speak up. I just wanted her to do that. There's like, I knew there was something that was awakening her. And Connie grew up Salvation Army. So Connie grew up in a very strong faith-based life with beautiful parents, wonderful parents that let her be her. And she had this tambourine in her hand. I took a picture of Connie and I posted it on my personal page of Connie with a tambourine. And there was a smile in her face, and there was something being stifled down, and I knew there was. So I wanted Connie to come on this evening because this is the new moon, and this is about intentions. And anyone who's in this other group that I teach, it started as a beta program that I taught, and I had 44 women in there that have been with me a full year, and they're in this group called Being You. And I have been with them now for pretty much a year, and watching the growth and the transformations and stuff that's been happening in their lives have been incredible. And they've been on my journey with me. So watching me go through my changes and taking my leaps of faith and falling to my knees and having my breakdowns and ups and downs and sharing all that. We have done all that in this space that we were in. And so this morning we were doing a lot of work around a vision that had come to me last night, and a vision around this vortex and taking the leap. And I'll explain all that after. But during it, I was giving them coaching questions to answer. And there was stuff coming to life for Connie as she was going through this. And then we went to church at the Holy Roller restaurant. And we listened to my beautiful friend Tiffany, and then that just awakened even more and opened up more. And it was just like there was just things happening. So I'm going to actually let Connie speak for a moment about her awakening, stuff that's been happening, and her journey, because this is the reality of the realness of us. This is our vulnerability, our place that we live in, and how we go from, when we come from that place of thinking, well, I can't be this or I can't do that, and how we are such minute little things, right? And when we make those leaps and when we jump so big, that what I was telling them was at the bottom of the vortex, when you jump off this big wide opening, and it looks so big, and you go down and you go down and you go down, you're actually not going down to fall. You're going down to be wrapped and surrounded by the loving love and security of God, of source, whatever it may be for you, and being wrapped in that. And so instead of thinking that when you take a leap, you're going to be, hit rock bottom. No, you're being wrapped. You're being protected. And when you see life that way, you can actually start to let go of the past and let go of the things that were holding you bondage and not being able to speak your truth, and know how important your spirit is into this house of a human body that we have. So this is my dear friend Connie, and I'm just going to let Connie just talk for a moment about where she was and today, and what she feels is happening within her in her leap of faith that she has just taken. It's yours.
I can't believe you're doing this to me.
I know, it's what I do to my dear friends.
I don't even know what to say. Life has changed a lot in the last few months. It's been crazy roller coaster. It started with spring came, and our dear friend lost her daughter. And from there, life seemed a roller coaster. It's been boom, 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 like one big change after the another. Like I said last week to her, my friend who lost her daughter, I said, I felt like the world just took us like dice in a Yahtzee cup, just shook us up and just threw us out and like, deal with it. This is what you have. Just go with it. And it's been crazy. My husband and I end up in Leduc. We're a few months ago, life was like totally different. We were planning camping all summer in Slave Lake, doing the norm, living life, going to work every day. And then he wasn't getting any work and had a wonderful opportunity come up here. So within 6 weeks, he had a job. We were leaving Slave Lake. Now we're here. And I feel I'm here for a reason.
Go past the filler.
The filler?
Go past your filler is what I tell you. Why are you here?
Why am I here? Because of my spiritual awakening. Lots of changes. For me, spiritual growing. I'm meant to be here for a reason. I'm meant to meet new people for a reason. I don't like being put on the spot like this. I don't deal well with this. This is, no, not easy. I don't like being...
Okay. You chill for a moment. So her spiritual awakening that she's talking about is that Connie had made a choice and a decision. Connie is someone who sits so strongly in having to be regimented and like just a normal life. And she woke up one morning and said, fuck it. She woke up and said, fuck it. I am not doing this no more. I am making a change. And Connie owns a house in Slave Lake. She owns a business in Slave Lake. She owns a whole life that was happening in Slave Lake. And something in her awakened. And she had to make a decision for herself that was based on, as she said to me earlier today, she had to be a little bit selfish. And it took having to make a decision to walk away from a lot, like clients and life and everything, to make a move, to move into something that was bigger than herself and that was scarier than herself. And as we were walking around here, and Connie's only 5'1", who works on a stool cutting hair, that she had to be this little tiny thing in this big wide world, walking the streets of Leduc, going into salons, asking about a place to work. And as she came here, she knew she had a faith that was stronger than anything, and she made a choice to follow her faith.
Very outside the comfort zone.
Right? And so she walked into a place.
Mm-hmm.
She walked into a place in Leduc, and she found herself a home where she now is going to be working out of here in Leduc. But there's more of a reason why she's here. There's always more of a reason why we show up where we show up. Connie has made a choice to live somewhere out of her comfort zone, into a place of the unknown and into a place of something new. And the reason why Connie is here tonight is because what I'm sensing, the messages that I'm getting and the messages that are coming in from people that are, as everyone knows, I won't give you a reading, but I do read all the messages that I receive. And so the messages that I have been receiving are people afraid to take a leap of faith, or feeling as if you're on a roller coaster and not being able to make the changes that you need to make. Sometimes you got to be a little bit safe, and sometimes you got to be a little bit logical brained, and you have to make, but it is about being on that roller coaster and saying, fuck it. And Allison, I'm on a roller coaster of life with you guys. Fuck it. Exactly, Allison, right? You just took another leap of faith and you left Newfoundland and you've moved back to Alberta. Right? It's like, so I'm getting these messages, I'm receiving these from people, and I I get what you're talking about. I've been there, but I've also worked beside people, and I have dear people who are in my life that are where you guys are. And we go through these pains, and we go through these ups and downs, and we go through these hurts. And as Connie has said, we have been through a lot with our dear friends and people who are close to us. And so when I come in here, and when I come in this place of vulnerability, and I bring in friends who are in this place of vulnerability, and they're there, and this is the reality. So when I come on live, and when I read, and when I do these channeled works for you guys and for people, I come in with a place of knowing that everyone in here is looking for something. Everybody is searching for something. And as I'm watching my dear friend Connie in her search for something, I watched her glow, and I watched her show up into a salon, and she walked in and she had this confidence, and it was just unbelievable to watch her in that moment. And when she talks about that new place she's in, right?
It's a good space. It's a really good space. Good people.
So to be
Good
in
energy.
So to be in your unknown is actually comfortable.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's scary because I'm leaving a family of. I've only ever worked at Magic Scissors in my 16 years of hairdressing, and we're all like family. We're like sisters, and to leave that group and to have to try and integrate yourself in somewhere else is very scary. It's nerve-wracking, but it's exciting as well because you get to meet new people, new clients, and learn new things, learn from other people. If you're not learning, you're dead, right? We have to learn every day.
I'm just typing a message. And authentic. Living authentic to yourself, and being true, and being honest with yourself, and where you were and where you have been. And so what I'm just watching here. So what I'm getting tonight, and what I'm pulling is I'm pulling energy that kind of came from today, kind of came from this morning, came from everything that has been channeling through to my day. I had a whole new kind of aha moments that were happening this morning as I was meditating, but I've kind of stayed channeled in all day. So I have not left being channeled in all day. So as I sit next to Connie, and as I said, Connie is a Reiki master. Connie is already a trained healer who has made a choice to not fully work in the industry because she wanted it for herself and she wasn't there. This is her moments that she is now coming into her own, and she is really stepping into her light of letting the healing be done in a bigger way. And so her move to Leduc, her move, I guess, and that we're still together, is that because we haven't been separating a lot of years, me and mini-me. And so there's now been this coming together but apart, that Connie is stepping into her own and into her own light, and she's starting to come to life. And so you'll actually see more of Connie. You'll actually see a lot more of Connie being by my side. You'll see a lot more of Connie in some of my classes, my online workshops that'll be posting in the next few weeks. You'll see Connie be a lot more present. She calls herself my Gail. She is my Gail to the Oprah is what she calls herself. And so you'll be seeing her come to light. But I'm going to start with a card that's for everyone. And I'm going to choose a card based on a question that I was asking this morning to this other group. And it was, what is needed? What is it that we need to know as we move forward? What is it we need to know because today, okay, got to start over a little bit here. So today is 9/9. Today is September the 9th, which is 9/9. The gateway, the porthole is open. And so this is the day with a new moon and setting intentions. This is about really, truly letting go of the things of the past that you don't want to carry forward into that next 7-9 years type of thing that spans out into your life. And so this is where we start to make the shifts and the changes. And as I was saying the last few weeks, this was a rest period. This was a quiet period. And as we come into the full moon that's coming at the end of September, we're actually going to be stepping into an Aries moon. And this is in Virgo right now, I believe it is. And so this is practical, grounded. Well, Aries, I'm an Aries. And so any of my Aries out there that really know, we're not practical and grounded. We are fire signs. We are fly by the seat of our pants. It's a little crazier. And so by the end of the month, you're going into that whole stepping into making changes, starting new projects, taking on bigger ventures. And so for people who are gentler spirits, it's a little bit tougher. Hello, Mr. Darren Fudge. And so as we go into that place, it's preparing yourself and letting yourself rest during this time, but really not overthinking what you need to let go of. That place of contemplation, that place of meditation. And I was just showing Connie that, stepping into, how much light, measuring the light within ourselves, and measuring the light just when we're just being ourselves, and measuring the light when you go into meditation, and then measure your light that's within you again. And it's amazing the difference that there is. This is my mother's dog, Kelly. Hey, Corey, I had a reading with you a few weeks ago, and you said I would be taking a course when I finished my crystal healing course. I have so many ideas, and I was wondering if you had any insight on what course this might be. Thanks. Okay, Kelly, I really truly believe what came to me right now is that you're actually going to be searching and looking more into some sort of like a life coaching course, something that gives you like working with women type of is what comes to me. Working with women, probably women who are struggling, I want to say, with trauma and being victimized in some form is what comes to me. Women that have been victimized. That's what I feel around you. And this would be an opportunity for you to start exploring more by taking on even like a small course, something that really is like little, and then working your way into something that's bigger, that's a bigger investment. But don't invest too much money into any course until you explore them a little bit more by kind of dabbling a little bit. I feel like you need to dabble a little bit. And so dabble into the course a little bit. Do you want to shuffle the Mother Marys? Connie, so we're shuffling 2 decks here. We're doing a double deck shuffling. So we're both tapping into the energies. And I'm going to pull a card first, and I'm going to pull a card that's for everyone, and then from a totally different deck with a total different energy, and then Connie's going to pull from the Mother Mary deck. So I am pulling a card from the Spirit Animal deck, which is Call It Bear and Read. And the card that I'm pulling is for everyone. And like I said, I'm asking what does everyone need to know that's of your highest good? And so I'm starting with, and I am getting messages from my dear friend Tracy, who's shown me who wants a card, and I will get to some of you. And so Wombat Spirit is the card that I'm pulling. Be at home. And as I said when I very first came in tonight, was be at home. And as I was saying in a reading on Instagram and stuff the other day, be at home in your own body. This is a time to really pay attention to what houses your spirit, what houses who you are, to that essence of where we are. And what I'm picking up is that we have, not all of us, but we neglect, and we feel like we're 2 different entities. Your spirit and our human body are like, don't really work together, but it's like a well-oiled machine. So your spirit needs a good, healthy body to take care of you and to take care of it. And it's like, we need to keep the body healthy. And I don't always mean you got to go on this big spiel to get like super skinny if you're over. It means that you have to fuel it with the healthy thoughts and the healthy words and the healthy foods so that you can create healthy light and create light within you. And the more that you take care of the body is that you're actually honoring all parts of you, and you're honoring your spirit. And this includes your mind. What are you going to feed your mind? When we're watching shows that are of anger and we're watching news, all the news that really is feeding us this angry crap in the world and causing us to live in fear and to live in the place of being fear-based decision making. Fear-based in how we raise our children, fear-based in how we're showing up, fear-based and creating anger. And so we're making angry decisions and angry choices. That's not how we want to fuel our mind. It's not how we want to fuel our life. And it's not what we want to feed into our society. It's not what we want to feed into our children. And it's not what we want to be housing our spirit. That's right, Lisanne. Your body is your temple, and you need to honor it as same way you're honoring your spirit. So part of your spiritual growth, part of the growth that we're making is that you have to honor all parts of you. And this is the Wombat spirit. So, and Connie pulled a card from the Mother Mary deck. And what did you pull?
I asked what was the message that, what did, like, a general message for everyone today? What did everyone need to know? And it's trust. I know that God, in His infinite wisdom and love, is answering my prayers right now. Seems to be the theme for today. Going back to this morning in the Being You group, it's like trust, faith, love, devotion. Those are the main things right now, to the main staples. I know in my life, for sure. That's what keeps you grounded. Definitely trust and faith.
Okay. And it is like knowing that, just trusting that there's something beyond us, knowing that we have someone. And right now, so the 9-9 where we are is like during this time is when the veil is actually at its thinnest. So knowing that you're seeing more signs than ever, and that you're seeing, you trusting, because, okay, so the truth that we get, I got so much happening here and I can't. So the truth that we tell ourselves, that we think we're telling ourselves, is not really always the truth, right? Because we water it down, or we liquefy it. We do what we need to do to make it the truth that suits us, to make us feel better. The truth that comes from going into the place of when we pray or when we go into meditation, and the truth comes and you get the truth and you start to see the truth, that's the truth I'm talking about. That's when it comes to when you have those aha moments and you go, oh shit, I have been so lying to myself all this time, because what I wanted to tell myself, the story I wanted to tell, was the story that made me feel safe and secure in staying where I was in life and not having to make that change. Kelly, you should come out to Vancouver Island, do a workshop or seminar. I would love to come to the island, and if you wanted to arrange something and I could come to the island, I would happily come. I will go anywhere. I told you guys. If you guys arrange something and you want me to come, and you can arrange enough people and it can make it worth my time to come, I will make a trip to pretty much almost anywhere. I do travel. I have a bunch of workshops coming up in Slave Lake. I have four coming up there between now and November. Okay, so Yvette, Supernaut, is that Yvette? If you're still here, can you let me know if you're still here? Because I am actually pulling a card for you. And the energy that I'm picking up around you, I don't know if you're still here, Yvette. You're on it? Okay, Kelly. Yvette. I'm just waiting to see if Yvette is still here. Because if she's still here, I am actually pulling a card for you. And I'm feeling as if your energy, Yvette, is, I'm going to do it anyway, because even if she's not here, I feel like she'll go back and watch. But I'm feeling as if your energy is all over the place. Like there's a sense that you're not focusing, or yes, you're here. Okay. So, okay, Yvette. So I'm picking up your energy in the way that you're all over the place. Like you're overthinking, or you're trying to make too much shit kind of happen, or too much things trying to happen. And I have this sense and feeling that you're like, what you're searching for and the answers that you're searching for, or the messages that you're searching for, is that you're being told that you are getting them. They're being sent to you. Your messages are coming. You're just not focused enough, or you're just not sitting still enough and quiet enough to hear them. And it's like, If you would just sit still, you will hear that I am here. That's exactly what he is telling you. If you would just sit still, you would hear me. I am here. There is a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of questions, and I feel like there's a lot of things that you need to know, or that you feel you need to know. A lot of unanswered questions, a lot of whys that is coming from the other side for you. A lot of whys, like a lot, or you have a lot of whys for the person on the other side. I'm really feeling as if this is possibly dad. You have a lot of whys, and I'm not sure where or how there was some sort of either divide or separation between you and your dad, and at what point in life it was, or if there was some separation between the family and your dad, but something of a separation that was kind of taking place. And there's, I feel like you didn't get all the answers that you needed to get while he was here. And that he's telling you that he has so much love for you in his heart. And that, I don't know if he told you that enough while he was here, or if there was that kind of relationship between you and him. But I want to cry for you right now. I'm feeling really sad. Like, I just have this sense of, I did love you. You need to know that I did love you. I never not loved you, and that there was times he wished he could have been there more, or he wished he could have fixed this separation, or something that was happening between you and him, or him and the family, or something. But there is this divide that was happening, and just know beyond know that he does love you, and he does sit with you, and he is very much loving you up all the time, and he is trying to get to you. And that you tend to give your power away to a lot of people, and you tend to kind of give your power away. And I don't know if this is in a relationship, a male relationship, or something like something that you're someplace where you kind of either let somebody. Yes, he's with me. That's all I needed to hear. He was my rock. Okay. Yeah, okay. But he's telling you something about, he's saying it's something about taking back your power, something about some relationship stuff, or something of, and I don't know if this is where you are right now in a relationship, but, or with friends, or where this may be. It could be a relationship with anyone, but that you have to step back into your power. It's like your own confidence. You love him so much, and he's right with you. He loves you dearly. It's like, he's like a teddy bear, is what he feels like to me. He feels like he is a teddy bear, but it's like this. So Panther spirit, whoa, Panther spirit. And I feel like this is really linked to your dad. Your dad is a very strong Panther type spirit. He has that whole, he would like to have time to himself, but he's also very strong and powerful. Has that, but he's saying that you need to take back your power. Wherever you're giving up your own strength, or you're saying way too many yeses to people, and you're not being so kind of staying in your own light, is that he's telling you that it's time for you to step back up into your light, and to take back your power, and to claim your own light again, and to be your own person, and to speak your truth. Don't you dare let kind of anyone stomple your energy. You know who he's talking about, and you know what he means. Okay. Yeah. And he's like, he's adamant about this. He's like pushing his chest out, is what it feels like to me. He's like pushing his chest out, like, don't you dare go there. You know better. What did I teach you? And it's like, so just know that he is watching you, and he's watching you go through this, and he's just saying, it's enough. It's time to make a change, and to make that change. What are you feeling?
When you said I had to take a deep breath, it was like, when you felt that he was upset, I was like, because I felt heavy in my chest at the same time. I felt like
you felt him.
I was like,
yeah. So Yvette, he's very present here. Like, he's been here. So as I was saying earlier, like, I had a lot happening. This was your dad. He's been very present. He's been, it's like he takes up a lot of space, and I feel like his energy is very strong. It's almost like he is in between us, and he is doing that. Like, don't Don't you let anyone take that away from you. Okay. And now I am going to, oh God. We got barking dogs. I am pulling a card for someone who's asked me before, and I haven't pulled a card for her. And Lasan Cole. Lasan Cole, I am pulling a card for you. You're crying there, Yvette? Much love to you, Yvette. Much love to you. And thank you for letting me do this for you. Okay. Lasan Cole. Lasan. I have, if you've already asked for a card, don't keep asking, because Tracy is sending me all the messages of everyone that's asking for cards. So I am getting everyone's message. I am getting all the ones. And the reason why I'm telling you not to keep sending messages of asking for cards is just because I want to be able to read all the other stuff that's coming in as well. So if you've asked, know you're on the list, but I kind of don't get to choose who's doing this. It's like I'm just guided to where they're going. You're in shock. Thanks again. You're very welcome. Okay. So Lasan, I have to tell you, Lasan, I do have somebody here with you, and I don't know who he is yet. I have a sense and a feeling as if he would be a grandfather to you, is what he feels like to me. And he has an accent, and I don't know if he spoke like a different language or something, but I feel like he has some sort of accent, and he's a strong presence. And I don't know if he was very strict, or if he was just kind of like a bigger man, like a bigger presence. But I feel like he's like a grandfather, and he has some sort of an accent. It feels like he has an accent to me, and it's that he has this sense of that. What he said he meant. What he said he meant. He stood by what he said, and what he said is what he meant. And he has a strong conviction about him. Like he knew who he was. You didn't mess with him, type of thing. But he owned his land. His land was his. Whatever he had, it's like he worked hard for and he owned. And he says he's just always so proud of you that you stick to your integrity somehow. Like he just says that you stand true to you. But he's a grandfather, and he's very present around your home. He loves your backyard. Something about your backyard and the trees that are in your backyard. He very much loves your backyard. And possibly mom's dad, maybe, because it just feels like he's shown me something about your mom, and I'm seeing your mom. And there's always a man with you in spirit. Okay, yeah. And it's just like, it just feels like this is a grandpa, possibly like mom's dad, because I see your mom, and I'm seeing your mom. I'm seeing like an image of your mom as well, even though I know your mom's here. But it's like, so I feel like this is why he's linked to your mom's side or something. Could be your dad's side, but he's definitely grandfather spirit, and he's just so strong with you. And he just says your integrity, what you do, and how you stay true to yourself is so important. But he says, don't let anyone kind of make fun of you for some reason. Like, I don't know where that comes in. Like, I don't know if someone used to tease you or make fun of you or something. He says, don't let anyone make fun of you. It's like, know who you are. Like, you know who you are, and you know how hard you've worked to be who you are. Your he's Irish. Okay, he's Irish. There we go. All right. That explains the accent. Okay. And did he used to have like, I feel like he shows me that he used to walk somewhere, like he used to walk through a path, or he walked somewhere. And I don't know if he used to have a regular routine that he used to, somewhere that he used to go, that he would go meet up with some buddies, some friends or something. But connections, he talks about connections and how important connections are. And don't lose your connections. Don't lose your connections. Stay in your, know your integrity, but also don't let people kind of make fun of you. Because it's just someone that kind of like, I don't know what kind of person this is. Just feels like somebody that's around that might kind of make you try to make you feel like you're not as intelligent as you are or something. Someone just kind of having that kind of energy around you. And it's kind of like, he's like, just tell them where to go. It's kind of what he's telling me. You just tell them where to go. They know nothing. Who are they? They don't know a thing, type of thing. And that's what he's telling me, is that sometimes there's that kind of energy around you. And
Oh my goodness.
and this card that I pulled for you was the last card that I pulled this morning. And my dear friend Sherry pointed out that the whole time that we were at the cafe today, the Holy Roller Cafe, is that there was a big bobcat statue in the middle. And the card that I actually pulled for you, Lasan, was actually the bobcat spirit. Life is a mystery. Life is a mystery. Don't go trying to push that next move of your life. I feel as if you're on your own journey. There is changes happening, and it might even be some changes around, like being able to make a change and step away from some of the work that you've been doing and stepping into a healthier work or a healthier place of work. And this is what it feels like to me, is that you wow, yeah. Wow, that's what I always think. Wow, I can't believe I actually get to do this. I can't believe this is what I do. Wow. But yeah, wow is so life is taking you in a bit more of a healthier decisions, healthier choices, healthier job, healthier way of living, and it's all just evolving naturally around you. Let it happen. You have so much to give. You have so much to do. And you're being told by your grandfather, don't you doubt for 1 minute who you are. You stick to who you are. You know it, you live it, and you be it. And you'll be like that shining star, and let yourself be that shining star. You have a lot to give. And he's like giving you this big, like, mwah, I love you. And that's what he's giving to you. So he's been with me kind of all day, I do believe. And I was reminded of him today as this card was in this restaurant today. As I was leaving, the bartender were like, he's like, have a good day. And I said to Connie, I'm like, did you hear his accent? He was Irish. And all day, your grandfather has been with me. And I knew he was with me all day. And I've been waiting for the opportunity to give you this message to him. He's been around a couple times, but he's like, not yet, not yet, not yet. And tonight it was like, it is the time. Please do it now. And so that was him. Yeah. Okay. Danielle Frigon is my next one that I am choosing a card for. Do you want to do one for Danielle from that too? So Danielle, we're actually doing 2 cards for you. Okay, and while she's doing that, I'm going to finish reading Lasan's message. Of course, very much I had too many changes. And he's wonderful. He played piano all by ear. Amazing man. Okay, that explains why he would be there with us today. It was a piano, it was music, and he was there all day with us. So Lasan, thank you for letting me have your grandfather all day. It's been a blessing to hang out with him. And it was an honor to have him with us. And I knew he was with me all day. Danielle. Okay, Danielle. Right to Danielle. So Danielle, we are pulling 2 cards for you. And I'm going to actually let Connie pull the first card. And she is pulling from the Mother Mary deck. And the Mother Mary deck is, I call it my most blessed deck. And anyone that's been frank off. So anyone who has been following me for a while really knows all about that. I channel Mother Mary, and I channel right through Mother Mary, and Mother Mary communicates her messages through me. And so when I give up my Mother Mary deck, is that whole truth that whoever's holding that Mother Mary deck is the person that is needing to really pass the messages of Mother Mary. So tonight is Connie's, I feel the strength of Mother Mary, and Ariel's also around Connie all day today. So the card that Connie pulled was sobriety. Danielle.
My clear mind is easily able to focus and concentrate.
And so what I'm picking up instantly when she said that was, sobriety doesn't always mean sobriety the way we think it does. It's like that are addictions, right? So what I'm pulling up for you, Danielle, is the sense of sometimes being caught in the moment of being almost like a little bit OCD. Like that whole, where in our lives and where around us do we feel the sense to need to be kind of overthinking our thoughts? Is that what you're feeling?
Mm-hmm. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, right. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
And so what I'm getting for you, Danielle, and I have a card for you as well, and I also have a message for you. Is and the message that I have is that I feel like that you somehow always find dimes. Yes, it is. Okay. Right? Yeah. So it's the OCD. It's that whole trying to overthink, getting caught up too much in the details, and trying to overplan and overthink, and if I just do this, or if I just wait for this, and it's like you don't need to be so kind of let that go. And I feel like you're finding dimes, or you're finding a lot of dimes, and it's that message that you're really getting from Dad saying, hey, Danielle, slow down, breathe. You don't have to. It's like he's being the calmer one. He's like, hey, wait. You're going to be. It's all okay. You are where you are for a reason. You are where you are for a reason, and remember that. You're where you are because you found 3 today? Okay. Yay. All right, because this is Dad. And he's saying, you have to just slow down though. Stop overthinking, stop obsessing. Stop obsessing about the things that are out of your control. Just let your mind be clear. And when you get clarity, you're going to know exactly the things that you want to do. But it's like, just let your relationships happen. Just let life happen. Just let your job happen. It's going to be just fine.
Take time to breathe.
Take time to breathe. Exactly. Take time to breathe. And just be kind of what I feel like saying is, Danielle, sit back, put your feet up, relax. What's the rush? Don't be so rushed. That's exactly as I'm kind of getting. Put your feet up. Work is going to be okay. And I feel like there might be a little bit of struggle around either something that's at work, or somebody you may be working with or something. And it's like, don't worry about it. That'll all pass. It's going to be okay. It's all just going to pass by. And that's what he's doing to you. He's like, bah, what are you worried about? It's going to be fine. And that money, don't worry about money. Told you. He says, I told you. We'll take care of you. I'll take care of you. And that's exactly as he's doing. He's like, bah, don't worry about it. We got it. And you're going to be okay. So yeah, that's your dad talking? Okay. Yeah. It's like, Danielle, put your feet up. So for the rest of the night, put your feet up. Don't worry about it. Tomorrow is not here. Don't worry about tomorrow because it hasn't come yet. And just let it just be. And just be okay with being where you are and in this simple little energy. It's like, just live life simple, as Connie said. Simplicity. Let go of that need to control. Let go of the OCDs. Just free yourself of that.
You'll find that when you stop overthinking stuff and trying to push situations, everything just flows. Like this move to Leduc, everything was just like do. Within 6 weeks, we moved. We had a house. Martin had a job. I had a new place to work. We're integrated into the community already. When things are meant to be, it just flows. You don't have to work at it. It just happens. Life happens.
Yeah, life happens. So we're very much in masculine energy tonight. I have all these men that have been coming through. I've had men with me all day. I have a lot of men that's been hanging out with me all day. And
that's the masculine energy I was talking about too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Connie said the same thing. Connie said, we've had this masculine energy all day. Like it's been in this masculine. And I'm going around my pink today and I'm like, but I feel very like there's a lot of masculine kind of energy around us today.
Yeah.
And it's been everywhere. And so there's been a lot of, you're very welcome, Danielle. There's been a lot of males spirits with me today. I do have a male spirit and I don't know, is there a move for me soon?
You got a jumper?
Line. I got 2 jumpers. So there is a move for you. I don't think it's right at this very moment, but I do think there is a move for you. but you have to make some changes before you can make the move. I don't know what you need to change, but you need to make some changes. But I am looking for somebody. I am looking for a male who, and I don't know where this male comes in. This feels like possibly a brother or a best of friends, but it's somebody who committed suicide, somebody who took their own life. And I feel like possibly by the hands of a gun. It's what it feels like to me. But I do have another male with me, and he took his life by gun. And he was, so if you're someone who has somebody who passed away by suicide and it was with a gun, I'm looking for you. And this feels like a brother or a friend. No, he's a friend. He was kind of like there was a brotherhood. There was a group of friends, and I feel like his name is Paul. I don't know why. Karina. Well, now, hold on. I got to read some. Okay, I have to read some of this to see where I'm going with this. I had to make a lot of changes. Good, Lasan. Cynthia, my cousin shot himself a month after his brother committed suicide. Okay, Cynthia.
And this lady said
And whose
brother?
Whose brother?
Crying. Paul's brother, Lane. Chandra.
Paul's brother, Lane. No. Paul's brother, Lane. Paul's brother, Lane. Corinne. Corinne, can you tell me some more here? Cynthia, his name was Chester Paul in his middle name. Okay, I feel I'm just trying to I'm trying to tap in here. I'm trying to see which one I'm getting. He shot himself, but he was Paul's brother. But his name's not Paul. He was Paul's brother. No. Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to get more information, guys. I'm trying to get more information from where this is coming from and what I'm getting. No, not you, Corinne. No, I didn't think it was you. I'm thinking, so I want to say this guy was, okay, I want to say this guy was maybe early 20s. Early 20s. Possibly maybe a little bit younger, but early, it feels like about early 20s. And the gun feels like it possibly belonged to somebody else, but was in a shed or something like this. The gun was in a shed. He found the gun in a shed. It could be, okay. So the gun was found in a shed, and he yes? That it, Sharanda? Yes? Okay. Okay. Here we go. He was, so he found the gun his name was Lane, and it's Paul's brother. Okay. He's back again. He's telling me he's back again. So I must have met this young man before, because he's telling me he's back again. He's back again. He's telling me he's back again. And that he's in a hurry. He's in a rush. Like he's in a rush for something. He was in a rush that night. He was in a big hurry. He's shown me his eyes were like bloodshot or something. Like he was panicked, or he was upset, and he was crying, and he was mad, and he was pissed off. And he's just saying, stop stop fucking blaming people. That's what he's saying. Stop fucking blame. Like, you can't really lay blame. He says, don't lay blame. I don't want anyone to be blamed for this. I did this. Yes, it was stupid. Yes, I should not have done it. But he don't want people to be blamed. And I feel like he's like, just stop blaming. Just let's let this go. Like, this is a time, and I feel like this is why it's coming up today. This is 9/9, of course. This is about letting go of the past, and he's really pushing through. Like, he's pushing through in here. I'm like, I was trying to push him back, because I'm like, okay, every week I end up with a suicide or a murder or something. But can we just have a week without a murder or a suicide or something? But he's like, no effing way. I want to talk about this, and he's telling everyone to just please. So, Sharanda, it's just like, everyone, please just kind of, if there's like a blame, or if there's a blame game, or if there's like guilt and that kind of stuff, is like, everyone, please just let it go. Like, please know that I am finding my peace. He comes as a raven. He's very raven linked, and he's very there. And he's actually given me 3 cards. And I've been holding these cards so tight in my hand. It's like, but he said he comes as a raven, and he passes on messages, and he comes to let people know. He squawks at everybody. He squawks when everybody gets caught up in the past. He squawks when everybody's constantly being stuck. But he says he's very sorry. He's very sorry to the person that found him. He says, because he left behind a lot of hurt and pain, and he left that person with having to deal with a lot of shit. And he says, I'm sorry for that. And I'm sorry that that's kind of how I left. And he says he always wanted to be a legacy. Like, I don't know what he was doing, if he was into some sort of racing or something, but he says, I always wanted to be a legacy. Like, I always wanted to be remembered in like a big way, but never that kind of way. So just know that that he's very okay. He's stepping into even a better place, he's telling me, but he just wants the past to be kind of put at rest, and talk about him in the good things that you remember of him, in the good memories that he had, in the good life that he gave. But he is raven, and in crow spirit is what I got, is the card that actually came out. And he sits on like the peak of a house, or the peak of a shed, or on the edge of a tree or something, by a house, by a window, and so that everyone knows, that who lives in that house, that he knows that he is there, and that he was a bull rider. He was a bull rider? Okay. All right. Well, he's his superstar in his own way, and that's how he was a cowboy. He was a bull rider. All right. And so he's telling me that this is an opportunity, though, for everyone. Like, now is the opportunity for a healing. And I'm like, I just feel that he says, like, there's been a lot of drinking, and there's been a lot of troubles, and there's been a lot of stuff around. And he says, this is the time for like transformation. This is a time to live a healthier, better life, and to not have like judgment, blame, anger. He really wants a bull rider, and he really wants this to be kind of put to rest. And that he shows me the beautiful butterfly spirit, which kind of ultimately goes with this crow, in a way that he's saying that he's been beacon off to everybody. Everyone has to listen. He's been trying to get those messages through, and that he has shown me butterfly spirit, and he's shown me this in a beautiful light, and that he's also trying to get to his mom. He's trying to get to his mom, and for some reason, he really needs to get to her, and he wants her to really kind of know that he's with her for whatever reason, and that there's somebody around him who's not very independent right now. Somebody that's relying too much on. There's somebody outside too, and there's somebody being relying upon other people too much, or relying on like a male or something too much, and that find your independence again. And he shows me a cat, and I don't know who owns the cat, or where the cat comes in around, or if there's a cat that's always up on someone's deck or something, and he kind of goes, like he's chuckling that this cat is around. And it's like, whoever that is that's not being very independent now, it's like, claim your independence. Like, he wants her to find her own independence again. I feel like this is mom. I really feel like this is his mom somehow. Like, he's trying to get to her to be her own independent person, her own mind, think for herself, do her own thing. And that to know there's nothing to feel like, you don't want anyone to feel guilty and that they could have done more, but the person who found them or the people that found them, that he's very, very sorry that it was the way it was. But he told me he was in a rush. He was in a panic when he did this, and that it was stupid of him, and that, but he loves everyone and that he's always around. And it's like, I feel like he's saying to me, okay, I'm going to let you rest now. I'm going to leave you alone. But he's ready to move forward and he's ready to move on. But he was pushing in tonight as if to say, I want my turn and I want to talk. And because he just wants this to stop, this blame game, this whatever's happening, and for everyone to come together full circle now. And he keeps pointing somehow, some reason, some why. There's somebody else with him, and whoever else is with him is pushing through a rose, and there's a rose on my necklace, and he keeps like tugging at this rose on my necklace, and he's showing me a red rose, and I don't know why the red rose, but it's somebody else that's with him that's showing me the red rose, and he's like pushing it, and he says, give this to my mom. Give this to my mom. It's like whoever else is with him is like he's saying to him, saying, give this to my mom. Give my mom this red rose and tell her that I love her and I miss her and that I am watching her. Okay. Thank you. That's the end of the individual readings. That's a lot. So I'm going to let Connie pull one card. Do you want that deck or do you want another deck? And these cards are going to be for everyone, so that everyone who don't get a card, so that I like to pull a card that's the energy goes to whoever the card is for, whatever you feel like it resonates with you, whatever the message is, to know that that's the message. And keep asking every week, because your turn will come. There's people that have been asking for like a long time and their turns are just kind of coming up. Like I said, I don't get to pick. They pick me. The spirits pick me. So Connie is going to pull from that deck, and these, whoa,
We got jumpers.
we have jumpers. So I have 2 and Connie has 2. I have 3. Okay.
Come to the edge, my friend.
Okay, I'm going to read this comment first. Cheryl Davis, my brother Dusty gave my mom a rose. Oh, really, Cheryl? Okay, so Dusty. Is Dusty the dad? Do I have that right? Dusty's the dad. And he gave his mom a rose. Okay. All right. Okay. Danielle, I'm on board my plane watching us take off. Gotta click over here. Okay, Danielle, I'm glad you're watching us until your plane takes off. You'll soon be up in the sky, closer to spirit. On a new moon, set your intentions. Hey, Paul. Yes, that was Elaine's dad. Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Thank you for that. Okay. So the card that Connie pulled was Come to the Edge. Oh, it's a glare. Come to the Edge. And I feel like Come to the Edge is exactly kind of why I brought Connie in here tonight, was coming to the edge, coming to that whole, when we get to that point in life when we have to make the changes and that whole having to let go of things that we love. And I always say we let go of the things that we love the most, putting trust and faith into something that's beyond us, that'll bring back the things that we actually need and not the things that we want. And so Connie, making her choices, right?
I feel like it's taking a leap of faith.
Right.
Yeah.
Jumping off that.
Like back to the vortex from this morning, right? Taking that leap, not being scared to jump, even though it's dark at the bottom, and not knowing what awaits you.
Yeah. And so it's making those leaps, making those jumps. God, I feel like I'm really close to the camera. And making those leaps and making those jumps. So a lot of people here now are going through this, and it's small, it's big, whatever it may be. Is that resonates with you, Kelly? Yeah, right. It's like really making that leap and that jump into the unknown sometimes, knowing that you have to sacrifice and give up some of the things that you absolutely love. So where I am right now is, I'm giving up my hairdressing career of 30 years, which I still absolutely love. I love hairdressing, but I have to take this leap of faith. And of course, and there's some health issues that are going with that as well. But it's like I could probably push through that and struggle more. Oh, Jazzy City wants to move. And so, but the other edge of that is that there's another life waiting for me, and so I'm sacrificing. You sometimes make the sacrifices for something that's beyond that, so something that I love even more, or that's really taken me into a new place, is the jumps that we're making. So where in your life are you ready to kind of come to the edge, or are you on the edge? Are you looking at the edge and saying, what is next for me? What else is possible? And this is the time, and during the new moon tonight, it's a good opportunity to write your intentions of, I intend I intend. And rolling them up and burning that and just letting it go to the universe and just giving up the control of trying to make the life happen, and let yourself kind of almost like free fall right into that sense of knowing that you're being taken care of. And so the cards that I pulled was the whale spirit, and it's trust the great mysteries. Trust the great mysteries. It's like we don't know the why sometimes, and life is a big mystery, and things are going to happen, and life is going to happen, and trust the places that it sometimes take you, that you're unsure of why it has taken you there and why you're there. And it's like the same reason why Connie didn't know that, because we're going out to have a fire is what her and I are doing now in a moment. I'm going to take off all this earrings and stuff, and we're going to put on our good comfy clothes, and we're going out to have a fire, and we're going to do our intentions. Connie's already dressed in hers. So it's like trusting the great mysteries of life is that big mystery. What is it in your life that that the fear that's been holding you back from being afraid to take a chance?
Isn't it funny how they go hand in hand?
And how the cards go hand in hand, right? Come to the edge, and then trust the mystery. They're matching cards. And this is why I have two people pulling cards, because what happens is that these are divinations. They're connected to source. And so the cards, no matter what we pull, we are pulling the same cards to tell the same story, because this is our hero's journey. This is our dreamer's journey. This is the journey that we take during life. And that it's okay to step back into a place of knowing that your dreams are worth having, and that you are worthy of the dreams that you've been dreaming, and to match your words and thoughts into what it is you want to see in your life. And then and the other card that came, that went flying, jumped out onto the floor, was grasshopper spirit, which was take a leap of faith. Take a leap of faith. And that it's okay to take the leap of faith, and it's time to start taking the leaps of faith. And they could be little tiny leaps of faith. They don't have to be gigantic. Not everybody's is as big that you're going to pack up and leave. And then the other one that I pulled was Beaver Spirit, which is lay a solid foundation. How important it is to have that solid foundation underneath you. Is that if you do not do the groundwork in your growth and in your spiritual journey and in yourself, things will continue to crumble, because because if you keep sweeping everything underneath the rug and you don't deal with it and you don't speak your truth, and everything keeps getting pushed down and pushed down and pushed down, it's going to erupt at some point. And then you have to deal with it at some area and some point in your life. And so it's the same thing with our grieving. Allow yourself to go through your grieving. No matter what it is that you're grieving, allow yourself to go through the process, because this is the opportunity to go through the healing, and that you need to let yourself feel what you need to feel, think what you need to think. And if you're having a shitty day, have a shitty day. And as the foundation gets put back together, it's not that we forget, and it's not that we everything heals to the point that you don't ever have it again. Is that it heals to the point of where it is healed together with light and love. And when things are healed together with light and love, that becomes the strongest forms of the foundation, because there's cracks in the foundation, but they're so strongly connected that it actually makes us stronger, and it reminds us to stay humble and out of ego as we start to grow and develop into who we are. Okay, I'm going to read this couple. Jenna, I'm struggling to find a place to rent in good old Slave Lake, but not having much luck. Ready to relocate. It'll happen, Jenna. It's like these next, like I was saying last week or the week before, this coming few weeks were a time to kind of sit idle and sit still. The next 2 weeks, you'll start to see the changes happening. It's going to happen. It's okay. No, I'm sorry, Paul. He's gone. You're going to have to go back and listen again. I know. It's like you keep missing him. Leanne, smudging at 9 tonight, burning my list of things that have been holding me back, and have my list of new intentions, new moon awakening. Yay. Good job. Okay. I want to do one more card from my Mother Mary deck, and then I'm going to say my good nights to you guys, and we're going to go have our fire. So the loving prayer, the loving thought, the loving blessing that what I'm sending out to everyone tonight, and what I'm asking for Mother Mary, and is, what wisdom can she hand out to you guys? What blessing can you be given as you move forward? And then the card that I'm getting, it's not letting me stop. And it tells me when to stop. When you trust the way that I have learned to now trust, I trust everything to be the way it's supposed to be. So you're very welcome, Kelly. And yeah, I look forward to finding a way. And so the card that came out, and as I said, with the whole people that have been coming through, like especially with Paul's brother that came through, was the card, the blessing that's being given, or the opportunity, or what's being asked in this opportunity to grow and to move forward, is forgiveness. Forgiveness. And with forgiveness, I'm willing to release old resentments so that I may enjoy my life. I'm willing to release old resentments so that I am ready to enjoy my life. And it is so important. When I talk about a solid foundation does not get formed when we come from a place of judging others, judging ourselves, from holding on to the resentments, from carrying angers. All those things crumble us. And when people from the other side are asking us to come to a place of, please forgive us, or please forgive other people, please stop the blame games and those type of things, is because they are so aware on the other side of how unimportant that those moments are in our lives, and the destruction that they bring within our own self. And when you carry an anger towards somebody in particular, that person, and you're like, I'm never going to like them, or I just hate them, that person is not feeling, and that person is not living by that what you're carrying. The only person that's being affected by that is you. So the only person being held back from living your true self is you. And so the forgiveness, and so also the forgiveness that sometimes you have to forgive yourself for things that you think you did wrong, or things that you think, you contributed to. Let it go. Please come from this place of allowing yourself to step into your own light. And this is the time of really, truly stepping into the essence of, I always say there's a divine intervention. It's the lighting of the divine. The lighting of the divine that is happening now is that we are our light is being lit. So the flame inside of us is now being lit to actually start to live the life that we want, and to start the projects we want, to start the jobs we want, to start to make the changes that best suit us. And that is the blessings that are being handed to you, is to not be afraid to make the moves and the shifts in your life, and to come from a place of loving healing for you and your life. And that's Bella. But thank you all. This so hits for me. I spread my dad's ashes this past week and allowed my nasty to be a part of it. Yeah, exactly, right? All right. Thank you all. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for Connie for sharing. And this was me bringing Connie out into the light, where Connie now has to start to live, as she's starting to kind of brave her way out into the world a little bit more. And thank you all. And sorry, I'm not answering no more. I'm not doing no more readings tonight. And if you do want to book a private session with me, I do phone, video, in person in Leduc, Slave Lake, and also I do some traveling. I am getting ready to get my Grand Prairie date up, and hopefully I will have it up I will have it up by Tuesday. And I have some workshops, 4 workshops happening in Slave Lake. And I have 3 workshops that'll be going up online by the end of September that you can sign up to. And they're all different. And so there'd be one that could possibly suit you. One will be a 6-week online commitment. So I look forward to whoever will be taking a part in that one. But thank you all. And if you are interested in a message in a private session, please private message me. And I will not be answering no messages tonight because I am now going to go do my own intentions ceremony. So thank you all, and much love to you all. And thank you for being here. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.